Hangout is now live. All right, welcome, body odor sufferers. This is the second live interview for the PATM TMAU, whatever you want to call it, but an interview for a man named Bruce Leeroy. I think that's at least the name you want me to call you. So tell me, Bruce Leeroy, how old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
You're 33 years old. How did this all start? And at what point did it start?
So I would say maybe maybe a year ago, almost maybe like about 2 years ago, I uh I just noticed like people a lot of times coughing and sneezing and doing all this extra around me. And I didn't think too much of it at first because like I was telling you before, like it was like cold season or whatever. But it just followed me like everywhere. And
Mm,
I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, is everybody sick? You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon
right.
as I sit down, and then everybody in the room coughing and sneezing and going on. But so
When you say
eventually,
everybody in the room, like where was this? Are you just talking about like at your workplace?
it's
And
like work, at the gym, at home, just everywhere.
mm, now let me ask you this. So they were just coughing and you said sneezing, or you said it just coughing
Yeah,
and
it's like allergic reactions.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So at the moment you just naturally thought it was just a cold, it was just cold season or flu season or something like that.
You know, a lot of people, I'd ask them like, "Hey, are you okay?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's just my allergies acting up or something like that."
Mm, that's interesting. Where were you working at the time? I also forgot to ask you where you located?
I mean, I live in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And where were you working at the time where you started seeing people like
At
cough or sneeze?
at Walmart in the produce section.
Mm, okay. So, with that, like I know we already had discussions before, and you said that you started to have like a fecal smell eventually. How did it transform into
Well,
just a
that
coughing, sneezing thing and now into like an odor thing?
so so the coughing sneezing thing has gone on, and that's part of it too. Like, I mean, that's still like every day, like
Mm-hmm.
cough, sneeze, all that extra. But I remember one day I was at work and somebody was like, "Man, it smells like ass back here." And here's the thing about my job, me working in the produce section, in our back room, we've got a lot of
Different types
rotten
of food.
produce. Yeah, like a lot of different types of food, a lot of like rotten produce sometimes is back there when the stuff doesn't get rotated right. And we have like bins that carry all the bad stuff. So I'm just thinking that it's the fruit back here is rotten or the potatoes are rotten because a lot of stuff that's what it smells like, even like fruit and stuff. And so I would just like clean up the back room and people be like, "Oh yeah, we they y'all cleaned up back here." And then somebody else will like walk through because it's a very like high traffic area in the store.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to a lot of things. And then
Right.
somebody else, even like right after we cleaned up, would be like, "Man, it smells like ass back here."
Mm.
And I'm
Would they
yeah.
say it and look at you, or they would just trying to are they just
So
trying to
at
pinpoint the
first,
sound?
everybody was really passive aggressive. And like I said, like I was telling you before, I'd never gotten those comments before. And I didn't put two and two together of it being me until eventually somebody was like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom, or
Mm-hmm.
did you just fart?" Or those
Right.
type of comments, still being kind of passive aggressive, but they literally like aim the comment at me. So I'm like, man,
Mm.
like, everybody's coughing and sneezing and doing all this is because I stink.
Right. Let me ask you this. So, within the coughing and sneezing to people thinking you farted, like, what would you say like the time difference was? Like, was it like a month later you started getting
No,
like a
it was about a year. It's later like almost a year in between the initial symptoms of what I would call PATMA. When I first looked it up, because when everybody was coughing and sneezing and all that, I looked it up and PATMA is what came up. People are like,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this is exactly what the heck is going on. Like, and I was kind of happy because I'm like, okay, well, it's happening to other people. But then I got upset because it's like, well, I can't find a
Any way
definitive
to reduce
answer
it?
on how to reduce it.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own idea of the cure, you know what I'm saying? And
I never heard. I'm glad you're talking about this because I never really spoken to someone who had PATM, and I didn't know if there was like methods to reduce it. What are like the common methods people say to reduce it?
to get rid of candida. Basically, they say that you've got some kind of bacterial overgrowth, some kind of like parasites or bacteria or a fungus or mold, and that's what everybody is reacting to. That coming off your skin or out your pores or wherever it's coming from. That's what. So they say you got to get your diet back in check. Drop all the junk food, sugar, that whole nine, and that would get rid of the PATMA.
So when you heard this stuff, did you try to do it, and did you see any type of results?
I did, but the thing about it is, I would say I've never stuck with it to the point to where I feel like, okay, it would knock it out for good. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember trying to do candida too, and it's sort of hard. You have to eliminate all sugar, all breads. You can only eat like vegetables and organic grass-fed meat, I believe.
yes, exactly.
So, like, what was the longest time you were on that diet?
I would say maybe a month.
A month? And like, when did you see like ex like noticeable reductions?
So I,
Hold on.
I say
Yes.
with
Before you leave, would you disconnect the whole thing for me so I could put it in a box?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'd say within like a week, it does reduce it. Like if you're not eating sugar, for me, anyways, if I'm not eating sugar, I'm not eating a whole lot of just like garbage, uh, pizza and breads and stuff like that. It does go down. It literally
Mhm.
goes. And I've also noticed if I take any kind of antibiotic, whether it's like something that I got from the doctor or
Mhm.
if it's something natural, that sometimes will like knock it out completely until I stop taking it. So it's like right after I stop taking it, it'll start creeping back in.
That's
So I feel
interesting.
like
Like,
I,
so
I
you
do.
say you just any medication, whether it's like medication from doctor or just like like natural antibiotics, do you feel like natural antibiotics
So like,
is just
so
as
like
effective?
so like oregano oil or what else is there? I've taken neem. I've taken
What was
berberine.
that?
Neem.
Nanim?
Yeah.
How do you spell
So
that?
NEEM or NEEM.
Neem. Neem
Yeah.
oil?
Yeah.
I
So,
never
but
heard
not
of
the oil. I take like the herb. They got like a extract of it. And I take neem extract and I take berberine because have you ever heard of SIBO?
that. Systemic is like
It's
SIBO, like intestinal body. What's it called?
yeah,
Bacterial
it's
overgrowth? Small
small
intestine.
intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So
Yeah.
I started researching it on that because I'm like, man, this has to be some kind of bacteria because when I take this stuff, it kind of knocks it out, or it does
Hmm.
knock it out until I stop taking it. And whenever I change my diet up, it reduces it. Doesn't go away completely, but it reduces it.
Right.
So I looked up some ways to get rid of SIBO because that came up in the stuff that I was researching, and they were saying a lot of times that the neem and the berberine put together would be enough antifungals or antibacterials, whatever you want to call it, to knock it out.
Mm. Yeah, I've heard about SIBO too. a possibility that's the reason and stuff. Did you ever go to a gastro and or what doctors have you went to?
So I went to my general practitioner. I finally just stopped trying to take all this stuff and figure it out myself. I finally went to the doctor on like 2 weeks ago, and
Oh,
my referral called
just
me.
recently.
Yes, and my referral called me this week, so I'm gonna be going to the gastroenterologist uh, here pretty soon. But I haven't went yet. No.
Wow. So for like the first year, you had coughing and sneezing, and then after a year, it got worse because now people saying you smell like you farted or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think you said eventually, or in our previous live stream, you said it's like intermittent for you. I think you said something like that.
It's intermittent. It's not all the time. So like some days I'll go into work and it won't start up until like I'd say 4 or 5 hours into my shift. And then
Mm,
sometimes it might be like as soon as I walk through the door, I can hear people from around the way coughing and sneezing, and everybody, people will like literally have allergic reactions to me. It makes me think it's maybe like maybe some kind of mold, maybe
hmm
some uh, fungus, and somehow, some way, it's overrunning my body. How I don't know. I don't have any idea. But I know that mold, when it's in like people's houses, it gives the same symptoms.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe this is some kind of mold. You know what I'm saying? I know Ben, not to take anything away from him, he kept saying it's parasites. It's parasites. It's definitely a parasite. And I don't feel that's right, because I feel like it might be a little bit different for everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe it's like a combination of things. Maybe it's so many different things wrong that finally like your body can't keep the smell in, or you're detoxing through your skin, or whatever's going on with us. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. So you go to the gym regularly. Um, For me, if I exercise or I sweat more, like the odor comes out of my sweat. Is that the same way with you, or is it just like is like strenuous activity increase the odor or makes you get more reactions?
So I honestly feel like that feel like if you so with me, just me judging my reactions through, because so I fight. I told you I was a fighter before,
Yeah.
right? Too. So we have wrestling practice, we have sparring, we have a lot of like really close physical interactions, and it's nasty. There's sweat all over the mats.
Yeah.
Everybody has like a body odor. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like never just smells like freaking bleach in the gym
Yeah.
unless we
Doesn't smell
just
like
sit in
roses.
the night and we're cleaning the mats.
Yeah.
So I do notice like a lot of times when I first get there, some people react to me. But I also notice usually by the time I'm done for X amount of hours, even at the gym and after I leave the gym, people do not react to me. So I feel like maybe whatever it is in my sweat or whatever it is, like me working out got it out.
Hmm. That's but if it got it out, I mean that means you should
For
smell
the most.
worse.
No, I feel like it. Well, I don't know how to explain it, man. But I literally get less reactions
Maybe they're
immediately
just used to the
after I got,
smell or something. I don't know.
and then it could be that too. Like I said, there's so many different smells going on through the gym. But I
Mhm,
do know, like, so I shower. Obviously, I shower immediately after I get out the gym.
mhm.
So let's say I'm working out for an hour, sweating, get X amount of sweat out, toxins, whatever you want to call it. I go straight home and I shower. So I noticed wherever I go after that, if I go to the store, if I go back to work, sometimes I like go do that on my lunch, and then I go home, shower, and then go back to work. I don't get reactions. But
Mm.
it's not for the rest of the day. It might be for 5, 6 hours. I just don't get any more reactions, and then it starts creeping back in.
That's crazy. Hmm. So, do you also feel that possibly like when you get nervous, the odor starts to flare up or get worse?
I do.
Hmm.
I honestly do. So a lot of times during the day, I just try. Like I'm very aware of people's reactions and stuff, but like since it's been a year now, I'm just like, well, shit, this shit's happening. It's real, and I don't let it get to me to the point to where I'm anxious about it. But I am conscious of, okay, everybody's coughing, or maybe just this one person is coughing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I kind of try to like gauge like how bad is it. You know what
Because
I'm
you can't
saying?
detect it, right?
Yeah, I can't smell anything.
Yeah. I did want to ask some more questions about this PATM thing. So, okay, in the first year, you started seeing a lot of people cough and sneeze around you. Did they ever point to you or like assume that, okay, you're the reason why I'm coughing and sneezing incessantly? Or
They
did they
never
just like,
they never did, because like I said, I would like ask people once I finally realized it was me, because it was following me everywhere I went. I would ask like people, maybe like coworkers and people that were close to me. They everybody's literally everybody's comment is, no, it's just my allergies acting up. And I've
hmm,
also noticed that it affects people that actually do have allergies way worse. I feel like it has something to do with people that have allergies, or they have like a weaker immune system. So like I notice older people. There's this older guy that works with me, and as soon as I walk through the door, he's sneezing, and it's an all day affair. And then there's some people, it's just like if it's more worse for me that day, then they are coughing and sneezing too. Like if I just really been eating junk food and not going to the gym, not sweating anything out, if I haven't been taking 2 or 3 showers like I normally do a day,
oh,
then
so
it,
you take like multiple showers as well.
oh
Do
yeah.
you feel like that decreases the odor or the allergic thing, the skin gas? Because it is actually a skin gas. You think that decreases the skin gas?
um I mean, I feel like it does to an extent, but I feel like getting out whatever sweating it out or exercising, whatever, I feel like that gets it out more as long as you actually take a shower immediately after.
Mm,
But
okay.
there's times that I've taken a shower and then left out and like to the bank or the gym, like I said, the gym or whatever, and people are still coughing. I'm like, dang, I just got out the shower. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is going on? But I've noticed literally every single time I go to the gym and work up a good sweat and then go home and shower, then I don't have reactions.
That's so interesting because that's completely opposite to me. I remember whenever I go to exercise or I do cardio, so I'm going to sweat, I'm going to be drenched. I get way worse reactions because like now because I know the odor's in my sweat, and since I'm drenched in sweat, it's all over my body. So when there were like people who are like exercising right next to me and I start really working up a sweat, they will stop working or exercising right next to me and go to somewhere else or something like that. But like I'm pretty sure you have like you went to like um what's those things called, treadmills, but you're saying like even if you exercise right next to a person, they're not going to they're not going to move away from you because they're going to get used to it or something.
Well, I mean, I honestly I felt like I've seen that happen too.
Oh,
But so do you know what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I always hear when they talk about it in like UFC and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's wrestling. And you're
Yeah,
literally, you know, with whoever your partner is, and y'all are on top of each other, like face to face, chest to chest wrestling,
yeah,
you know, to the death, simulated. You just tap out whenever you're gonna get hurt or they're gonna get hurt. But you are so close to each other, you know what I'm saying? And I don't ever feel like, I don't know if people are just, if there's a respect factor or what, or if people just, like I said, the gym is just so funky just anyways that people just don't notice it at that point. But I've never noticed people just like not spar with me or not roll with me. There's
Hmm.
times where like somebody maybe after class has already started and somebody walked in that hadn't been in there, that's hasn't been in the mixture of funk. They say, "Oh, it smells like somebody farted," or "It smells like ass." I don't know. People just got used to it,
Yeah.
or it's a respect thing there because I haven't really got comments towards me at the gym. I've only really gotten comments directly towards me at work, but I don't know, man. It's so complicated. It's complex.
It
It's
is complicated. What you said was so interesting because I used to, when I was in high school, I used to be in football and stuff like that. And wearing all that gear, all in the
all
sun is gonna make you sweat a lot. And I already get like comments in high school, when I go to high school or go to class, but when I work with people outside, with the team, I don't really get comments from the teammates. I didn't get any comments from the teammates. It was only then if I went to like the water girls, they'll say, "Oh, he smells so bad." So maybe there is something like when you are just around people and you're sweating it out, eventually the odor, they get used to the odor with their senses or
Well, it's
something.
like all of y'all. It's like all of y'all smell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everybody, like when we're all wrestling in the gym, like I hope that everybody takes a shower before they get there. I mean, sometimes I can smell people, and I'm like, dang, dude, I know you didn't shower or you didn't wash your gi or something. So I know
Yeah.
people smell other people, but I never just see anybody on the mats like out somebody else either, too. But at the same time, like I said, everybody has some level of funk to them going on because we're all in there sweating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's sweat. I can literally sometimes whenever I go home and I'm taking off my gear, I can smell different people's
Sweat.
odor. Like I can
Mm.
tell, like, okay, this smells like this person, or this smells like that person. But since it's not like and this is the other thing to me too. I don't understand why. So like sweat is a bad odor. Like if you're musty, it's a bad odor. But if something smells like ass or shit, that's just like the worst. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's a crime. It's okay for me to be musty, but you smell like ass, so it's a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, when you smell like ass, it's like you never took a shower. But when you're
yeah,
musty, it's like I don't know. Sometimes I think people just
it's like on a
assume like
different
you just
level.
forgot to put on deodorant, and that's a common thing that happens. So I don't think it's going to be as people are going to look at it as worse. I don't know. But you smell like shit. Like it sounds like it. People are going to naturally think that you just don't know how to wipe yourself or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I've gotten that comment too.
Oh, you didn't wipe yourself?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
Mike,
crazy.
did you what? And I'm just like flabbergasted.
Mm. Now you said that you were in a relationship. I think you already explained this, but still I still want to ask it again. You were in a relationship. Did she smell you at all when this was happening or
She
talked?
swears up and down that it's all in my head and that I don't smell and nobody's ever said anything to her because we work together. We still work together. Um,
Oh, she works at Walmart too. Are you still working at Walmart?
yeah, I'm still at Walmart. She swears up and down that she can't smell me and nobody has said anything to her about me smelling. I'm like, for one, you're with me all the time. So you've gotten used to whatever smell is coming off of me. And I didn't smell before, but since I'm with you literally all day, live together, work together, there's
Right.
you're getting used to the smell and you can't smell anymore. And then two, nobody's gonna come and tell you, hey, your boyfriend stinks. They're not gonna come to you and tell you that. Just like they don't most people until they just are tired of it, don't come to me and be like, hey, you stink or you smell like ass or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's another thing I find interesting because I would assume like for me, I would assume that, when I used to work at whatever place I used to work at, or G6 Management, whatever, I don't give a shit. But, I was working there for months, so I would assume like they would build up some type of tolerance, but for some reason didn't. But I guess like when you're having sex with a woman, you're being real intimate with them. Like they're breathing in your funk for like 24 hours a day, as opposed to just somebody who just comes in, to your room every couple of minutes just to talk to you. Like I guess they want to get used to it, as opposed to somebody like that's like sitting, like laying next to you most of the time throughout the day. Um, huh. Damn, this is weird. But is it to the point now with your odor condition that people try to avoid being around you, or like.
So there's one guy at work, the guy that here lately has actually been making comments to me about me, trying to be
Oh, he's
slick.
direct to you. He's being direct.
Oh yeah, he's being direct. He's being direct, but he's being indirect when he says it. Like, did you shower today, or what's that smell? He'll say stuff towards me, but he won't literally just say you stink. He did it one time, and then I checked his ass right after he did it. So
Mm,
now he's scared to be completely direct, but he still says stuff trying to be slick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But he's real young too. But he's literally the only one at the job that would just directly come up to me and be like, "Hey, you stink." And so we had to work with each other. Well, and this thing just sucks for him, I guess. We work real close to each other every day. He's like
Mm,
a manager on the same level as me, and in the same area as me. And I literally can tell sometimes he's just right up under me for whatever day. He feels like being social, but then sometimes I can tell I must stink because he's avoiding me. Even if I'm coming over to talk to him, he's making the talk real short and then leaving. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And it's weird because, like I said, most people, I don't know if it's just a respect thing, if it's just because so many people at the job know me because I've been there so long, and this thing is, like I said, relatively new to me because I've been at the same job for like 15 years, and like I said before, I did not stink. Like people say, "Hey, you smell." Girls would say, "Hey, you smell good." If I wore cologne, um, I didn't have the coughing and sneezing and all that I get now. So I don't
Mm,
know if maybe some people realize like, hey, maybe he's sick or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody that knows me, and since I've been at the job for so long, they know like, okay, it's not because he's not taking showers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, they know you. They know you for a long time.
But if I was to go somewhere else, it might not be like that. If I was
Mm,
to quit my job right now and then try to go somewhere new where nobody knows me, I don't think it would be like that. I think people would be more vocal, or people would have more reactions towards me.
Let me ask you this: you said you had it for at least 2 years? Do you feel like there's a change in your behavior or your personality now?
Oh
Do
yeah.
you feel like you trust people less or more cautious of being around people?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I literally, so like the past, I would say 3 months, I had stopped going to my fight gym. I
Mm,
stopped to gym period because I had, like I said, they were starting to make comments. It wasn't just straight towards me, but people were starting to make comments there. And since we have to be so close to each other, I just
right.
got super anxious about being like outed. Since I was already starting to get outed at work, people saying stuff directly to me, I was worried about getting outed in the gym, and,
Mm.
and that
Is
affected
this
my
a big
reputation
gym?
there. Huh?
Is this a big gym? Is there like a lot of people there, or is this
There's
like close?
there's quite a few people there at the gym. There's a lot of professional fighters. It's one of the top gyms in Oklahoma out here.
Mm, mm.
Hopefully nobody sees this. They goes to the gym with me, sees this interview.
I don't know. I don't think your real name is Bruce Leroy, so I don't think they're gonna put two and two together. Um, but I do want to ask, like, okay, so you talk about like you fight for a hobby. Um, so do you actually go into matches and stuff like that?
Oh,
And
fight like live in the cage. But see, and here's the thing too. Here's something that this has actually stopped me from doing, this condition. I literally was just about to start fighting, going pro. So
that's
I
interesting.
had six amateur fights, and I was just about to go pro, and this thing just came and knocked me for a loop trying to figure it out. And like I said, like the past 3 months, I haven't been to the gym at all. I literally just started
Oh,
back,
yeah,
man.
the
Like
gym the past 3 months. Wow.
I started back like this week, literally this week.
Mm,
And before that, I was starting to get to attend less and less because of this, because I was trying to figure it out. People were reacting at work, people were reacting at the gym. I was trying different things, trying to knock it out. And then when it got to a point where people were making the fecal body odor comments, the shit comments, the fart comments, then yeah, I just stopped completely for a little bit.
wow. I would think that I mean, with this older condition, it'd probably be an advantage. I mean, thinking about like the guy's gonna be like keep sneezing and coughing, you can just knock him out while he's distracted. But I don't know. I don't know if that really works like that. But
It's not seeing it's weird because like I said, it's not everybody will not cough and sneeze around you. It's
right,
people that have allergies or that I feel like have a weakened immune system. Older people, I notice a lot of young people they don't cough and sneeze and do all the extra around me. But
that's
like I said, that
interesting.
guy,
So you feel like you don't see any kids react to you, cough or sneeze?
sometimes they do, but I think it's just more like an allergic thing, man. I just feel like older people, because they're whatever it is that's setting off the allergy. Since older people usually have like a more weakened immune system, I'm saying older people, I'm saying like 50s, 60s, 70s, like they almost always
Hmm,
cough,
this is
sneezing,
interesting.
doing whatever around me. But people like our age or a little bit younger, even like kids, if they have some kind of like allergies, then yeah, they react to me.
Hmm. Now, when you say you have this leaky gas thing, do you feel like this is coming off all of your parts of your body, or is it coming off a distinct area, like your armpits, your groin, your butt? Like,
Honestly, I think it has something to do. So, and here's the other thing I've noticed: if I go to the bathroom,
hmm,
then it stops for a long time too. So either going to the bathroom or sweating it out. So basically, you can detox through the body in X amount of ways. You detox through your breath, you detox through your skin, through your sweat, you detox when you go to the bathroom. And
right.
I literally have noticed if I go to the bathroom and actually get everything out, then it goes away for a long time too.
Hmm, that's interesting. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. That's very odd. But you said you know the antibiotics or yeah the natural antibiotics actually work. So do you still use that? I mean, if this thing is working for you, do you just use it every day, every daily, just to
No,
knock out the odor
because
and just
because I was scared that if I used it too much, just like how you said, like some people they'll use stuff and then it works for however long and then it comes back. And I was worried, even with the natural antibiotics, I was worried until here recently that I took my ubiome test. I was telling you, I was worried if I took too much of it all the time that it might knock everything out and all the good out, and then the bad would just come back just like 10 times as worse. So I kind of played around with trying different stuff, trying to find something that just knocked it out completely without me just using it all the time, if that makes sense. but
And
I
you said
haven't
the probiotics actually made it worse, or you felt like probiotics, you took probiotics and made it
Probiotics
worse.
literally will make it worse for me. It might not be like that for everybody else, but so the antibiotics, whatever's in there living, it knocks it out. And I don't know if it's because so the probiotics, I was trying like different foods, and I'm wondering, so I take like kefir, I
Yeah.
would do a lot of sauerkraut, I would do yogurt, and
So you didn't take
I
the supplements. You just took like the food type of
but
probiotics.
supplements too. I bought like I think it's called Garden of Life,
Okay.
soil-based probiotic, and that did it too. But I don't know if there's something about like something whenever you take it, maybe whatever bad is feeds off of it too, or I don't know what's going on, man. Like I said, I'm just trying trial and error with different things, but I do notice like I literally stopped taking probiotics. I've like somebody said, "Oh, this helped me just taking the probiotics and it cured it." So I'm like, let me try that. And within like 2 or 3 days of me taking the probiotics, it was worse. And then that's when I noticed, okay, when I eat yogurt or take kefir, trying to get the probiotics from it, or take sauerkraut, because I really like sauerkraut,
Hmm.
uh, I'll eat it with like a lot of different foods. That would make it worse. But then I was thinking once I did my ubiome, I noticed I had good microbial diversity, and everything was good except for the lactobacillus. How I was telling you, and I'm like, I know that's from all those probiotic foods that I was eating before, but just the fact
You're
that I would
nowhere
do,
near a computer where you can pull it up because, I mean, I actually showed a video of my results and like I know I had like good microbial diversity too, but for some areas like inflammation of the bacteria that's supposed to protect against inflammation or lactose intolerance or gluten breakdowns, my thing was very low. So, do you remember any of the bacteria? Is there any bacteria that you were low in when they had the certain like statuses that you can remember?
so here's the thing. So I watched your video, right?
Yeah.
And you paid for yours. You
Yeah.
got way more information than what they put on mine.
Really?
They
I didn't
set
know
the
that.
they set the information up different on mine. It still tells like some of the same stuff, and but it tells everything in a different way, and it shows a whole lot less stuff. Mine, it points everything towards whether you have like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or IBS or different digestive issues. Yours just show just a breakdown of all the bacteria that you have just because. So mine
Wow.
was set up differently, and now I kind of want to just pay the 89 like later on, maybe after I change like my diet to see if that like changes anything from the first test. But yours was way more detailed on what they gave you on the breakdowns. So I could only pull so much information from mine. But the only thing that it showed, like I said, that was just straight up bad was I didn't have any lactobacillus. I had bifidobacteria and I had everything else, but I didn't have the percentage breakdown of everything like you did.
Wow. Because I really thought it was just the same thing all throughout. Like whether it
That's what
was
I thought.
blue or it was the orange kit, I thought it was just like you're going to get the same results. But since you have medical insurance, you get yours for free or something like that. Um, damn.
It's because they want it. The reason it's free through your medical insurance is because it's supposed to point you to one of those diseases
Right.
and why you may or may not have it based off of your microbiome. But what yours was, since you just paid for it outright and didn't do it through insurance, the breakdown is just your bacteria, period. And I need
Mm.
to do that one.
Well, you said it tested if you had IBS and some other conditions. I guess
Yeah,
you
but
don't have any of those conditions.
it gave me like the lowest point towards IBS, Crohn's, and I want to say diverticulitis or whatever it's called. it showed those, but it like rates your risk in a percentage, and my risk was on like 10% or something like that, and I think diabetes might have been on there. I had
Damn,
like
you might have
diabetes.
diabetes.
No, I don't think so, man. I think maybe it just said that I have the bacteria that's involved with it, but I didn't have like a high percentage of that bacteria.
Mm,
So it's saying I only had like 10% of the bacteria that's involved in that. I guess certain bacteria only show up, or they show up in like large amounts if you have these certain diseases. So
yeah.
like IBS and Crohn's and all that, you'll have certain bacteria will show up just because you have those things, and that's how they can tell that that's why you have those things. And I had like 10% to it might be even low as 5% on those.
Mm,
So
that's
it
not
wasn't high.
right. Now it makes me think to myself, damn, since there's like three other kids, I wonder if like the three other kids are going to give more expansive information. Like the $400 kid is going to give me even more information on the type of bacteria or more breakdown of what's in my gut or something like that. Because that's very interesting. Because I wanted to ask you once you put a comment on my thing about, oh, you have very low gluten something, maybe that's the cause of the problem. I wanted to ask you if you had gluten microbes or low gluten microbes, but apparently you didn't even get that type of information within your gut kit.
Yeah, it didn't even show me that.
Wow, that's interesting. Damn. And I find I wanted to actually comment on your kefir or your probiotics thing that you were saying. Yeah, I noticed I have mixed feelings with probiotics too. When I try to get like drink like milk or milk based probiotics, my odor got worse. When I try to get that kefir, whatever it's called, my odor got worse. When I try to get yogurt, my odor got worse. I even tried sauerkraut when I was in college. I don't know if it got worse or not, but I naturally thought it got worse because it has such a pungent sour smell that I felt like it's going to
Yeah.
come out my skin. But I don't know. But I do have uh, some positive stories about probiotics. I do have some stories where I just took like two pills or one of these supplements and just worked two of them, and then the next day, which I thought I was going to get bad reactions, I actually had no reactions at all, which was very surprising. But I feel like now, at least right now for me, it's like I can't. I don't think I don't think it matters how much probiotics I take. I don't think it's gonna do anything anymore. I think like the bacteria got used to all the little probiotics or bacteria that I put into my gut, or I don't know, maybe it's overwhelmed. I don't know. It's just
Well,
not as effective as it once was, or maybe you know.
I believe that you can change whatever's going on in your stomach. I just feel like you have to, one, it might not all, our odor might not be just because of that. I still don't believe that it's just because of the bacteria, because if it was just because of the bacteria, then taking probiotics or taking antibiotics would just completely knock it out. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we can change what's going on gut wise. It happens, but it's after you change your diet for a long period of time and are just straight up consistent with it. Like it's
Yeah,
proven that vegans have totally different microbiomes than meat eaters. It's just
yeah,
proven. But it takes you being a vegan 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 months, maybe 2 to 3 years, and that's really hard to achieve for us because you know what I'm saying, as far as staying that consistent just because of this condition.
wow. Let me ask you this. I just read this comment and I want to respond to it. Um, well, Liz Sunshine said, for me, it gets worse if I don't get a lot of sleep. Has that been the same for you? Have you noticed if you have a lack of sleep, your condition gets worse?
No, I haven't noticed that, but the only thing is I get a pretty consistent 7 to 8 almost every day. Like it's very rare that I don't get enough sleep.
Oh. Maybe people don't care. Yeah, but yeah, I guess that is the case. Like if I possibly transition into a vegan diet, maybe over time it will get better. Have you tried becoming a vegan?
I have not yet.
Hmm.
I actually, so I'll tell you what I did stick to. Like I said, for at least a month before, I was trying keto.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, and why I'm pretty sure I don't have TMAU, because if you have TMAU and
Can't eat like fish.
it's based off of how much choline that you intake.
Yeah.
Um, Everything that I was eating on keto, it would have made, if I had TMAU, it would have made it just freaking skyrocket. And it actually got a little bit better. It just didn't go completely away. I feel like for me, it's more getting rid of sugar and processed foods than it is being any like not eating choline, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But those processed foods taste real good though. I just ate a fucking Pizza Hut pizza, man. That shit tastes too good, man. That's pretty hard to do. I don't know if it's hard for you. Is like okay, so you notice I'm glad you actually started talking about keto diet because I've been reading I mean, I watched for the past couple of months, I watched a couple of videos about the keto diet and intermittent fasting and stuff like that. Were you doing like intermittent fasting and doing like the keto diet where you didn't eat for like 12 hours and then you would eat like meat and like vegetables and stuff, or you were just eating like just meat and vegetables throughout the whole day?
No, that's exactly what I was doing. I was fasting till around noon. Sometimes I would push it, depending on how hungry I was. I would push it till 3 to 4. And what I was trying to work up to was just eating one meal a day. But
Mhm. I was good.
yeah, I would just eat 70%, 75% fat. I would eat like I want to say 15% protein, and then like 5% carbs. And it affected it. It went down. It, like, I can literally say that it went down, but I can't say that it went away.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it would have gone away that much just by me cutting out sugar and dairy and all that, because I wasn't eating dairy while I was doing keto. Actually, I was eating dairy. I was eating cheese.
Do you feel like
Um,
cheese makes you smell worse or get worse?
I do.
When I say
I
smell
do.
worse, you also get like worse reactions in terms of coughing and sneezing and stuff, even with like certain foods.
I feel like if I eat like ice cream, I feel like if I have
Me too.
milk, I feel like if I have, well, the kefir, because kefir is milk, it's just fermented milk,
Yeah.
that almost within 30 minutes to an hour, I feel like I smell bad. And that's one of the only times I can literally, I knew, because my girlfriend, she said something like, that was like the only time she said something. Did you fart, or which one of y'all farted? Because she has kids. She was like, which one of y'all farted? And I knew it was me because I hadn't had any ice cream. And I went and got a shake at Brahms, and I killed it. And within 30 minutes, she said something about it smelling. And I'm like, damn, it was that damn shake.
Minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because you
It's,
don't because I don't think it's gonna just completely just process or completely digest in 30 minutes unless it's like your stomach is not working properly or something. I like
maybe maybe you just don't have the bacteria or whatever that breaks that stuff down, and whatever that makes the smell in us just has a heyday, because I don't feel like I can break down like ice cream and milk and stuff. Like, I'd already stopped drinking milk a long time ago, but I still like ice cream,
hell yeah.
and now I won't even eat ice cream anymore,
Shit.
because I literally feel like almost immediately within the hour, it starts, some kind of smell starts, and people start coughing and doing all the extra.
Yeah. It's funny. You say there's certain things that you're saying that I experience the same thing, but then there's a lot of other things you're saying where I don't really experience that type of thing. Like for example, like when you were talking about exercising, and the odor just like disappears or people get used to it. Like, no, this shit doesn't get people don't get used to that shit. They are treating me extra dirty. But and especially when you're talking about like with milk and stuff or dairy, yeah, that shit that's similar to me. Like when I drink some type of dairy stuff, I notice I get worse reactions. But I don't know. Hopefully what you're saying about the antibiotics is similar to me, because if you're getting pretty good results with just taking oregano oil or those types of oils that are supposed to be natural antibiotics, hopefully that's the same with me. But I was also watching a video about super bugs, like when a lot of people used to take a lot of doctors recommend antibiotics to kill off certain things, and
Yeah.
eventually the bugs get
They
immune to that antibiotic, so now they become super bugs. Like, for example, like with gonorrhea, you would use some type of antibiotic, but now there's like some type of super gonorrhea where it's
yeah, yeah,
hard
yeah.
to actually kill the antibiotics or kill the sexually transmitted disease. So it's because it's immune to it. And in the video was talking about like by the year in like 20 years time, there's going to be like 10 million people that are going to die because they're going to have super bugs because the bugs are going to be immune to any type of antibiotics. And that makes
Exactly.
me think to myself, like, is that the same case with natural antibiotics? Are they going to get just, if I keep taking like oregano oil, are there going to just be bugs that are just going to be resistant to the antibacterial properties? I don't know.
And that's why I was very cautious with what I was doing. That's why I would take it for 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks at a time, and then stop and switch to something else and try something else. Because I didn't want it to be something like, okay, it's gotten so used to this because I've used it for so long that it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Mm.
But then at the same time, too, I think there's certain things like oregano oil. I don't know if it can even make a resistance to it. But here's the thing about people don't understand about oregano oil. When you're taking that oregano oil, it kills everything. It kills the good. It kills the bad. You have to look up what so everything is not affected by every natural substance the same.
Right.
Like tea tree oil will affect bacteria and fungus different than oregano oil, and
Right.
oregano oil affect stuff different than coconut oil. And some things are stronger or weaker, and some things take out the good and the bad at the same time. And that's the only thing about oregano oil. If you take a whole lot of that all the time and you knock everything out, I can almost guarantee you if you start eating junk again, you're going to grow more bad again than good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard, or at least I read differently about the oregano oil. Maybe, I don't know. I've read that it only kills the bad ones, but I don't know what they mean by it. But I guess I have to look into it again. Um, but
I
yeah,
can I can send you some stuff through email to show you
yeah,
where I'm getting my information.
yeah. I would definitely like if anybody showed me some information about certain oils or certain natural antibiotics that help them or something like that.
Have you tried black seed oil? I haven't tried that yet.
I keep hearing about black seed oil.
I keep
I haven't
about
tried
black seed oil.
yet, and I've heard that worked for some people, or it temporarily worked for some people, then it just stopped working. Actually, I did get like an email talking to somebody, and they said, "Oh yeah, I tried black seed oil, and it just stopped working after a while." So that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know about that stuff, but I definitely want to try it. Um, So yeah, you said that your girlfriend couldn't smell anything until you drank some type of dairy, some type of dairy stuff. Then people like, oh, just somebody's fart. Did you ever went to your family, like your mother or your uncles or whoever, and do they react to you or do they feel like it's all in your head?
Man, so here's the thing. My dad, like every single time, this was I was good at about people that have allergies and people that are older, they react more towards me. My dad reacts so bad anytime that I go over there. But so I noticed he was reacting, but I didn't want to ask him. I didn't feel comfortable asking my dad. I asked my mom, and I told her everything that was going on, like almost not to the same extent of like what I'm telling you right now, but I told my mom what was going on. She was like, I didn't smell you whenever you came over, or uh I've never smelled you. Why are you saying that? And I tell her about other people saying different stuff, and she'd be like, only thing she'd ever say is, have you gone to the doctor? You need to go to the doctor. But she would always basically, like, my girlfriend, swear up and down, like, no, I don't smell you. I never smelled you.
Hmm. You have friends as well? I mean, have you have like friends that told you, "Oh, you smell bad," or or "Yeah, I don't smell anything," or have they ever coughed or sneezed around you and stuff?
No, I've everybody at some point in time has coughed and sneezed, but I mean, as far as my friends, nobody's said anything, but I haven't asked either. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
nobody said, "Oh, something smells like shit in here," or did somebody fart or something like that?
no, no, none of my friends have ever said that. But then
Mm.
it goes down to
It's
that.
also in MMA, or
You said what?
are your friends are also into the
Yes.
hobby of
Yeah,
fight?
yeah, all my friends are pretty much the people that are at my gym. And like I said, sometimes I think it boils down to that to the respect thing, man.
Yeah.
I think there's just like a big respect between me and all my friends, because we kick the shit out of each other every day. And maybe just because of that, even me smelling, they don't mind it. And like I said, everybody, they've got some kind of funk coming off of them at the gym. So it's hard for me to gauge and use them as like a gauge,
Hmm.
because it's a different situation. I try to gauge more off of what my coworkers say and do than my friends.
Well, I would feel like at least from my experience, sometimes you can tell when you are reacting, you're making a person feel uncomfortable or you smell bad because they might rub their nose a lot or something like that. They might cough a little bit, or they I don't know, they'll do like a stupid face like I don't know, like this odor is so unpleasant when they're around you. Have you ever seen that from your
See,
friend?
I've never gotten the face. I get the nose rubbing. I get the, like I said, coughing, sneezing, and the nose rubbing. That's another one that I wasn't saying before. People will rub their nose, or and then this is what, like, okay, so I was at work today, and my manager was talking to me, and the whole time she was just rubbing her nose, rubbing her nose, rubbing her nose, and she said, "Man, my nose is on fire." She
Mhm.
was she was close enough to me to where, like, if it was me stinking, or she thought that it was me stinking, she would have backed up, but she didn't back up. And right after she said her nose is on fire, like her nose was itching on fire, whatever.
Oh.
She's just being dramatic about her nose itching.
Mhm.
She said, because we were in the back, and like I said, a lot of times I'll go back there and I'll clean up the back room, but they had us like bleaching the walls. She was like, "Man, that bleach from back there is messing me up." I literally feel like she could not smell me, but I felt like I was the one that was making her nose itch. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, it's weird. Patma is weird because I feel like Patma in and of itself, there's not a smell. I feel like whatever we're giving off, that it's making them have allergic reaction, and maybe if it gets so bad, then you start having actual smell with it. I don't know.
Have you read the article that was made by like a Japanese scientist about PATM?
Oh yeah, you're saying like it's some kind of like gasoline chemical coming off the skin or something like that. Some kind of
I don't know if
chemical.
gasoline chemical. I didn't know I didn't know anything about that. I just know that there was some type of gas that came out.
Yeah, they were
Gas
saying they could
out and it
measure
was
like some kind of
chemical.
gas, but it's some kind of chemical.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that chemical don't really have a smell unless it just gets to like to where it's just really really bad. And that's why
Yeah,
maybe it took like a whole
supposedly
year.
there's certain chemicals that don't really give a smell off, but they do irritate your senses. But I didn't really look thoroughly into it. There are like certain names that they mentioned that they found off of like the Japanese subject. I didn't really look into it that much, so I can't really speak on it as much as I want to. But yeah, I'm glad I'm speaking to the first, or at least speaking to a PATM sufferer, because it's like I never really understood it. I thought like, oh, people you don't actually have a smell, but apparently you do have a smell, and you also have sometimes you have allergic reactions, and you notice that only older people are more prone to start coughing and sneezing and doing all those other reactions, but for kids it's less. I think that's interesting. Also, you said like a lot of people don't really like connect that it's you that's giving them this allergic reaction. So that's interesting as well. Do you feel like, so you said now you do get like you give off odors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is it like, so like is there like an odor and a reaction at the same time? Like like it's hitting them both at the same time, or
At the same
is there
time.
like this one point where it's like you just
It's at
give
the
off
same
allergic
time.
reaction
But
and one
then
give odor?
there has been a time where I was not getting any kind of reactions at all, and somebody made the "you shit your pants" or "didn't wipe" or whatever comment at work, and I'm just like, what the heck? Nobody was coughing, nobody was sneezing. I'm sitting here thinking that I smell good for once, and then they say that. So maybe I have more than one condition. Maybe it's I don't know, man. It's so weird. Like I said, it's so weird. It's so complex. It's really hard for me to gauge. But I know for sure the comments on smelling didn't happen until very recently, like within the past 3 months. And before it was just always coughing, sneezing, rubbing the nose, but nobody ever said anything about it stinking. Nobody ever said anything about it smell.
Mm. I know when I talked to Ben, he mentioned like at one point he picked up his clothes, his old clothes, and he did smell that something smelled bad about his clothes, something real unpleasant smelled bad. Has there ever been something? Well, I guess since you like work out and you do MMA, you're gonna have a lot of like musty smell on your clothes. But do you have like an unusual smell one day, like you picked up your clothes or something, old clothes, and he's like, wow, this smells really weird, or it does smell like shit or whatever?
No, um, the stuff that the clothes I train in, yeah, they're like rank, but
Yeah.
it smells like sweat to me. And like my work clothes or stuff that I just wear on a daily basis, it always just smells like either my deodorant or it smells like the laundry detergent. Like I literally cannot smell what everybody's saying is coming off of me.
Mm, yeah. Hmm. Well,
So
so I just want to go back to the keto diet thing because I was considering doing the keto diet. So you were eating like a lot of meat and stuff, like red meat. Do you feel like, and you don't feel like that is actually causing you to smell worse? You feel like, you know, were you eating a lot of vegetables on the diet, or just, a good balance of vegetables and meat? And do you feel like the meat was causing you to smell bad? Because a lot of people feel like red meat makes them smell worse.
man, people say that, but honestly, whenever I did the keto diet, it wants your body. So when you do keto, your body has to take some time to switch over to using fat for energy instead of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Once my body switched over, and I could tell my body switched over to using fats instead of carbohydrates, I feel better than I feel at any other time. And I feel better eating meat more than I do when I'm eating a lot of carbohydrates and stuff. That's why it's easier for me to do the keto diet than I think it will ever be for me to be a vegan, unless I stick with vegan long enough to where all of a sudden out of nowhere I don't have these symptoms anymore. Then I'll be like, okay, this is the diet that I just have to stay on, and then I'll be more disciplined about it. But as far as me feeling like meat makes it worse. No, I don't feel like meat makes it worse. Now I could be wrong because I
Mm.
haven't stayed off of meat long enough. But the other side to that coin too is I literally feel like, as far as me being an athlete, if I stopped eating meat, I honestly feel like a lot of people say that being a vegan is it made their performance better. I don't feel like I'm going to be better without eating meat because I felt so much better eating the meat and cutting out the sugar and crap than I did before when I just ate everything.
Mm. Yeah, you never try to consider just drinking like protein shakes that are made from like vegetables or something. Like I know there's like vegan protein shakes. Ever considered like trying to transition it just to that? And
I
I mean,
don't,
have you ever considered trying to do like veganism or
thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because, like I said, I mean, this is all trial and error.
yeah.
I'm trying everything, and I'm trying to be consistent with whatever I try long enough to actually make a good judgment. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, I really feel like we can't just do like take a supplement for because okay, you were talking about pessimism and optimism. And you might be right about this too because I've only had it for about a year, maybe two. I am optimistic that if I find the correct diet and actually stick to it long enough and find the correct supplements and figure out what's going on, that I can get rid of this. But the
Yeah.
thing is, you got to be
You feel
disciplined
like you
enough.
want to be cured or you're going to be able to treat it?
Treat it. I don't. I think that maybe whatever's going on with the body, to where now all of a sudden we stink and other people can eat whatever the hell they want to eat and don't stink. Maybe there's some kind of, like I said before, damage to the liver. Maybe there's damage to the kidneys. Maybe there's damage to the colon that will never be completely fixed. But as long as we're not overloading it with bad stuff, maybe your kidneys at 70% can deal with it. Versus when you're on like a just straight up junk food diet, you're overloading your system to where it just can't keep up anymore. But if you give it what it needs and only what it needs, then maybe your system will actually be able to catch back up and get rid of whatever is making us smell so bad. Because, like I said before, I can tell when I detox, as far as me going to the bathroom, me working out, me drinking more water and eating right, it dissipates. Doesn't go away, but it dissipates. So if I actually stayed consistent with just everything and found out maybe veganism is the last key to it for me, because that's the only thing that I haven't tried at all.
Right. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like it's going to get worse? Like in terms of your odor? Because a lot of people feel that I can only speak from my experience. You know, when I was a teenager, I did at first I got reactions and stuff like that, people rubbing their noses and stuff. And I thought it was because of my hair. I didn't wash my hair enough. But eventually got worse. But it was like it was mixed. Like sometimes it did, sometimes it wasn't as bad, sometimes it was. But once I got to college, it was really bad. And now I haven't even really told people the story where I felt like I controlled it for like a year plus, but I was eating regular food. I never really told anybody about that. So meaning it went away at a certain point. I could just eat whatever I wanted, but then it came back. Do you feel like this is all it's going to get worse with your odor or the allergic reactions and stuff like that?
I feel like it's going to get worse if you don't take care of yourself. If I don't take care of myself, if I don't cuz like I said before, you got your liver that's detoxing, you've got your kidneys that's detoxing, you got your colon that's detoxing. It's all the time detoxing your blood, detoxing your colon, detoxing everything. If you don't take care of yourself and you're just eating garbage all the time, you're not exercising, you're not working out, and you're doing all things that caused this to begin with, then yeah, I feel like it's going to get worse. But I also feel like if you keep your body in good shape, because and that's that's something I told you too before. I can tell my condition is not as bad as what you're saying with yours. Like
Mhm.
it, I might correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like yours is just an all day, every day type thing. Or do you feel
More
like
than likely, yeah. Which
huh?
is another thing I wanted to ask you. Do you feel like, well, no, you said yours is intermittent, so I was gonna ask you, like, if you didn't take a bath, do you feel like your like the odor is gonna be on your skin, or you just feel like there's just some gas that just leaks out every now and then, and sometimes it smells bad?
I feel like there's gas that leaks out every now and then. Just like how you're saying, like on the paper that the guy in Japan or whatever, the study or whatever, they were saying there's some kind of gas coming off the skin.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's just me from what I'm just paying attention and looking and judging reactions. I feel like it's some kind of gas. But at the same time, too, I feel like if I just don't shower for a day, I feel like it's gonna be way worse than if I just keep up my routine. I take almost 2 or 3 showers. No, I say 3 or 4 showers every day.
Wow. Yeah, I
Especially if I'm
mean,
going to the gym. If I'm going to the gym,
okay, that makes
I'm
sense.
taking 3 or 4. I'm taking a shower before I go to the gym. I'm taking a shower immediately after I go to the gym. I'm
You
taking
take
a
a shower
shower.
before you go to the gym? Really? That's interesting. Because I mean, you're already gonna
Think,
sweat.
think about it. I mean, still like I said before, we're wrestling with each other. Nine
Oh,
times
yeah,
out of
okay.
10,
That makes sense. That
we're
makes sense.
directing each other's face, and you can tell the people that just don't take care of themselves hygienically who they are at the gym because they stink as soon as you get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can tell who doesn't wash their gear because it's a different kind of smell, and it's just always there versus okay, everybody's been sparring for 30 minutes and we all are sweating and we all stink type thing. So
Mm,
yeah, I feel like if I didn't shower as much as I do, that it would be way worse.
mm. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to stumble upon this video, and they might have similar symptoms like you. They might have a similar story like you. You first just had like people coughing and sneezing around you, but then over a course of time, people now start saying, "Oh, something smells like shit in here." For the little information that you have figured out at this moment, what would you advise these people? Like, what type of supplements would you try to use to uh, dissipate the odor or at least reduce it? And what would you say? What would you tell them to avoid or and stuff like that?
So I would I would suggest that they clean their diet up. Very first thing, you got to get some kind of discipline in your diet. And I would I would start trying to figure out whether you need to take probiotics or whether you need to take the antibiotics, natural antibiotics. Um, I would start with that first.
What type
And
of antibiotics, natural antibiotics, would you recommend?
the neem and the berberine to just start off with,
How you spell
and
that?
then
Berberine? Because I'm pretty sure, because I never heard that neem. Let me actually put that in chat because I'm pretty sure. I don't think other people ever heard of neem oil. Let me see. Neem oil. This is how you spell it. Now, can you spell the berberine for me?
hold on, because I think I got the bottle. I think I got the bottle in here. So it's BER
BER?
BER,
Okay.
then BER again, INE.
Berberine oil. Damn, I never heard of this shit.
Well, it's not oil. That one's not an oil. It's extract.
Berberine extract. That's interesting. Let me put that in chat. Berberine extract. You recommend oregano oil as well?
I would recommend oregano oil after you've tried like everything else that's not as strong. Oregano oil is literally like the strongest natural antibiotic. So here's another thing. I used to work at a health food store way back in the day
Yeah.
before all this started, and people they would come in that the oregano oil. There was a lot of people that would come in and buy that stuff, and it was like super expensive in the store. But there were some people that would come in there and they used it so much they would come in and it would smell like the oregano oil. It would just be like seeping out their skin. That stuff
Yeah.
is strong. And when you take the oregano oil, everybody keeps suggesting it. And maybe because some people say take oregano tea, which I guess it works out to be the same thing, but maybe just a little bit weaker. But if you take the oil, it kills everything. It kills the good, it kills the bad. It's just as almost as strong as taking like antibiotics from your doctor, taking penicillin or some crap from your doctor. So
Mm-hmm.
just want to be really cautious about starting off with the oregano. I would start off with the neem and berberine, and then if that doesn't work, try coconut oil because that kills fungus. And then, if all else fails, maybe the oregano oil. I need to try that black seed oil too because it's not supposed to
Yeah.
be as strong as
Hearing
the
about
oregano.
stuff, so I definitely interested in trying it.
But they're all they are is antibacterials. They're just natural.
Yeah. But going back to like, okay, the procedures or your methods or things that you learn, you said you want, in terms of antibiotics, you would recommend neem oil, berberine extract. What are the things that you said that you would avoid? You would avoid like dairy. You said,
Dairy, sugar, processed foods, pizza. Anytime I cut all that stuff out, it goes down. It dissipates.
mm-hmm.
Just have to be so consistent and so disciplined. And the only time that I'm just really disciplined about stuff like that is right before a fight.
Yeah, because you have to cut weight and stuff.
I have to cut weight, so I have to stop eating all that. And lo and behold, that's when, at least at first, that I would notice, okay, everybody's not coughing and sneezing and doing all that extra around me.
That's interesting. Really interesting. And I would assume like for people who have to like always only they always have to control their weight or have to hit a certain mark in the weight, they're have better disciplined at like maintaining a diet, I would assume, because sometimes they would have to, I don't know, you see yourself on your weight and you say, oh, I'm like 5 pounds heavy. I gotta go jog it off or stop eating for a couple of days in order to get to the right weight in order to fight. I would feel like
Bro,
you would be really good at like, maintaining a vegan diet or ketogenic diet and stuff like that.
bro, I'm not even gonna lie. My diet is horrendous
Damn.
because and it's always been horrendous, and that might be part of the reason why was kicked in for me, because I could just work out and I never would get fat. As long as I was working out, I could eat,
Like
anything that I wanted to eat, and I would
you must
look
be a
like,
really lean guy. You must have been like a naturally lean guy.
yeah. And it got to a point to where when I got older, if I lifted weights, I could eat McDonald's, I could eat freaking Pizza Hut, Little
Damn,
Caesars, all that, and I would just put on muscle. I would not put on any kind of
that's
fat.
crazy.
And that's part of what got me in. I swear to God, I'm almost positive because my diet was just so horrendous, and I would go to the doctor here and there, and my blood work never came back bad. They never told me that, hey, you got high blood pressure or high cholesterol or diabetes. So I just kept eating how I was eating. I looked good. I didn't feel horrible. And, I wasn't having any kind of like sicknesses until this popped up recently,
Mm,
within the last 2 years. But it could just be like maybe I finally hit 30 I'm 33. But finally hit my 30s, and now my body's like, okay, you've been doing this shit for way too long, and we're about to show you that you really can't keep on eating like this.
do you feel like this is genetic, or at least genetic in your family? Like this some type of faulty genes that got passed on to you? and now you are experiencing this?
I don't, because I don't ever remember smelling any of my, because I have a brother, I have a sister, um, and we're all 2 years apart. I'm not that much older than all of my brother. He's 30, 31.
30.
My sister is 29, something like that. And they don't have it. And I know for sure my brother's diet is not nowhere better than mine at all. And my brother is overweight. He
Mm,
he's actually starting to have some health problems, but he doesn't have an odor problem.
mm,
Me, she can kind of like eat anything, and she was an athlete like me. She used to run track,
dope.
and yeah, so she's like me, and she can just eat anything and not get big. But at the same time, too, I doubt her diet is as horrendous as mine. But I don't think it's a genetic thing, because I feel like maybe it would have came out in them too. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
just like you said you got a brother, right?
Like, oh, like your great grand uncle or something like that that might have had it, or like your great grandmother that might have had it. It might not be in every generation, but it might skip over a generation or a couple of generations, but then it hits you, you know?
I mean, that could be true too. I feel like that might be more the case with something like TMAU.
Hmm.
But then at the same time, we don't know. We just don't know what we have. We don't know. I don't know what to call this other than, okay, we call it PATMA, but we still don't know what we have. You know what I'm saying? It's not recognized medically. I'm pretty sure if I had so when I went to my doctor, I didn't say anything about a smell at all. I just complained of digestive issues and got him to give me a referral that way.
I hear that a lot.
If I
Like
went to the doctor,
a lot of people don't disclose the well, maybe it wasn't the true reason why you went to the doctor, but some people don't disclose the fact that they have this odor issue because they feel like no one's going to take them seriously. Did you feel that way? That's why you didn't say you had an odor issue?
that's exactly why I felt that way, because I've just seen everybody else say that, oh, their doctor says, oh, no, you don't smell bad, or I can't smell anything, or, it's all in your head. So I was like, well, why am I even going to bring that up just for them to say that to me? You know what I'm saying? And I knew it wasn't T-Mal, and that's the only thing that I know that you can actually get tested for.
Hmm, that's interesting. Well, is there any other questions? I do have a couple of other questions I wanted to ask you. Do you have hope for the future?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But it, it goes back to your video. Maybe it's just because I haven't had this as long. But just the fact that I've seen that, me playing around with my diet and taking different supplements, that it dissipates it, that gives me hope that I could actually completely knock it out if I figure out the right code to unlock all this. And it might
Mhm.
be, like you said, it might be veganism. That's
Yeah.
what I'm about to try next.
Yeah, and I also want to ask you because I'm always very curious about this. This happened after the first interview I had, and Ben actually received an email from someone who said they treated their condition, but she didn't want. I wanted to bring her on so that she can explain like thoroughly the regimen she takes, the type of food she eats, the supplements, the specific supplements she takes and how much they cost. So we have a good specific breakdown of how this helped this one woman and how it can help many others. But a lot of times people are scared to just even go on live streams and or people scared to show their faces. I wanted to ask you, like, at least in your opinion, why you feel that is? Like, are people really I mean, I guess the natural or my natural inclination is to believe that they don't want this odor to come back to them or just be known as like the guy who smelled like shit or whatever the case. But it's like this is such a small channel. I don't even think it's ever going to even hit 500 subscribers. So I highly doubt is this information is going to come out, or it's going to come trail back to you. In addition to that, it's like I don't know. It's like you already do smell. So why would you be scared that people are going to know you smell? I don't know.
Well, bro, like I was telling you, I'm scared to be outed at the gym. Like I don't want anybody to just know for sure. Like I feel like right now it's like if I'm working out in the gym and I'm actually stinking or whatever, I feel like maybe everybody's just assuming it's just everybody all at the same time. It's just the combination of everybody's funk. I don't want to be outed over
Mm.
it. I would feel like anybody else would be that way too. And if us putting ourselves out there online, there's I don't know, bro. I just feel like it might be an easy chance. That's why I'm only reason why I'm not doing live video with you.
Because you don't
And
want people to eventually see your face or whatever and probably connect it to you.
well, here's the other thing. Like here pretty soon, because like I said, I started back fighting. I'm literally going to be on TV fighting at some point in
Oh,
time. I will be on TV fighting,
okay.
and it'll be
Yeah.
just my luck. Somebody puts two and two together, and bro, don't say that
On body
you're
odor
only gonna have
sufferers.
five.
Who is this guy? This guy sounds familiar. He
Don't
just
say you're only gonna have 500 subscribers. This channel's about to blow up, man. Every time I turn around on the PATM group on Facebook, the TMAU PATM group, there's somebody new on there every day.
yeah.
Somebody new because it tells you when somebody's a new member. There's somebody new every day. There's somebody posting new every day. Like there's a lot of people out there that this is affecting. I
Yeah.
just felt like at the same time too, it's it's not the same thing affecting everybody. Maybe you got TMAU, you got PATMA, you got FBO. There could be other things, but just like you said, the symptoms are so similar. We're all grouping it into the same thing.
Yeah. And there's little information and there's not too many doctors to really take a good look at this thing.
When
That's
when you got when you got articles about people getting kicked off a plane because of their body odor, like, and this is happening more and more often. Like this is coming from something, man.
yeah, I think it's the water, man. I think it's the water. I think it's some I don't know, man, because when I hear like Flint have like lead water or something like
Maybe
that, I think
maybe
about like some I don't know if they clean the pipes properly or some shit. Like I don't
it's
know
the
what
radiation. It's the radiation from Japan, from Fukushima,
it be, but then you know,
and this is our genetic.
didn't really talk about it that much. I mean, yeah, I'm on the group too for Mebo, and yeah, there's people from like the Philippines, there are people from like India
Everywhere.
or Africa, but it's like I noticed that at least in on YouTube, like a good portion of them are like black. And you even brought it up, like most of us are black. When I did like the live stream failure, I'm trying to figure out why that is. Is that like a genetic thing that we're experiencing? I don't know.
I was trying to figure out the same thing too, man. Because there's a lot of black, there's a lot of people of African descent that have this, and I don't know if it's just some kind of genetic thing or what's going on.
I don't know. Um, I don't know. And you just said something that I just wanted to respond to, but I forgot. Oh man. Um, what was I gonna say? You said something. I can't.
Hey, hold on, just a second. I'll be right back. I need to plug my phone in before it dies.
A word. Okay. Yeah, but I think we're like winding down because I can't really think of any other questions that I wanted to ask you. I think you pretty much answered all of them. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, would it be okay to put your email out there so if there's anybody that wants to contact you, they can contact you?
What'd you say? I'm sorry. I had to go grab my charger real quick.
Yeah, I was asking that if anybody who wants to contact you, uh, can I like put your email out in the chat to see if they want to contact you or
Yeah, that's fine.
it's fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Um, Let me see if I can actually put that in there.
Actually, you know what, bro? Tell if anybody wants to contact me, y'all can all contact me on Facebook in the PATM Mebo uh TMAU group. I'm on there all the time. And that's where most people, like, whenever I post stuff on there, a lot of people will hit me up on Messenger. So I'll respond on there.
So is there a name that they can look for or something, or that you just want?
Dang it, I changed my name from Bruce Leroy on Facebook. I'll hold on just a second.
All right. You want to hang out with you? Also, I was going to ask the chat, the little people who are still here, is there any questions you want to ask Bruce Leroy? Because I want to, if you do have any questions for Bruce Leroy, I will say it to him. Hopefully they heard this. I'll give it a minute just to see if anybody's writing anything.
So hey, my email is Bruce Leroy 2003 at gmail.com.
Bruce Leroy 2003 gmail.com. Okay, hold on a second here. Um, right, I posted it. I think I spelled it correctly. Oh, nobody has any comments for Bruce Leroy about his condition or about his life. Okay, I'm gonna assume there's no comments. Well, I guess we'll just wind down or just wrap it up. Is there any final thoughts here about that you want to say? You want to say to anybody who might watch this in the future or who is watching it right now?
Don't give up. I see a lot of people on the group saying that they can't take it anymore, that they're tired of it, that they want to kill themselves. I say don't give up.
Okay. Well, Bruce Leroy, I appreciate having this interview, especially coming through at the last minute because a lot of people don't know he was not supposed to be the second interviewer. It was actually supposed to be a woman, but she got cold feet and she backed out. And Bruce Leroy came through, and I appreciate him for stepping up to the plate for the second interview because he might have some things he wanted to do this Friday. So I appreciate Bruce Leroy for coming through. This is the second interview for TMAU PATM Body Odor, and we are out. Let me end it right here.